Okay, so I've been having some problems with my camera today, but I think we got it all squared away. The video card, I don't think was formatted correctly, so I reformatted it. I lost a little bit of footage, but we could just do it over again. It was nothing scripted, you know, nothing technical. So basically we're getting to the roll cage. So I opened up my DOM tubing and I bought, I think it was 7 pieces of 48-inch. And what we're going to do is we're going to cut our sides, they're going to be 2 per side, so 4. We're going to cut 4 pieces at 39 inches, and then we're going to go ahead and we're going to cut the cross pieces, 3 of them, because we can't cut the bottom front because of the transmission tunnel. So we're going to cut the ones across the tray. I think technically come out to 22 inches. But I believe 22 is wall to wall, so we're going to have to size that down, notch it. You know, we're going to notch one side, measure it, notch the other side, and then we'll fit it. And we'll do that in 3 spots: 2 in the back here, 1 at the top here. I don't think we really need the one across from the for the transmission tunnel. Although I could come back a bit. And maybe I can catch this bottom one right where the hump ends and it starts to get flat. I could probably set it up so I can weld it there. Then the 2 top pieces will be put together with little jack stands that'll be notched and fitted. And I'll get it all fitted to the point of where I can basically get this. Well, I don't need to really get the roll cage out of the car because I'm going to attach it to the frame via stands, flat bar, piece of DOM tubing, and this DOM tubing will slide into it. So either outer diameter or inner diameter, it doesn't matter. We'll slide that into it, and at that point we can go ahead and weld it. Because if this body has to come off, which if I got to do any type of engine work, tranny work, whatever, it has to come off. You're not doing any work on this car with this body on it. You know, some simple stuff up top here, underneath the hood. Very simple things, but anything major, absolutely not. So, and actually it'll give you more room too. Kind of like the new trucks, the diesels, where, you know, like the F-250s, 350s, where you actually take the body off to work on them. Same situation here. Just that this will be easier to come off. You'll have this body off probably in less than a half hour. So that's where we are now. We're going to set up to cut tubing. I'm not sure if I'm going to do that today or if I'm going to move on to doing some cleaning and get some more stuff out of here. Because on the sides here, up front, not much. Front right, not much. But back here, this machine, unfortunately, I cannot move today. Maybe I'll try to move it towards the back out of my way, but we'll see. I just need to make a little bit more room in here. That should all needs to get into the air, so the lift that I bought needs to be assembled, and that needs to go up. The dragster needs to come in, and no plans for the dragster yet, but maybe we'll play with it here and there. You know, as we run out of things to do on anything else, we'll go on that. I got to figure out the 54 GMC that's on my flatbed has got to get off. It's got to get into the driveway, so I can tear that down. And I can start dissipating the parts to different areas, so this way I'm not taking up a parking spot in my driveway and everything else is basically out of the way. Whatever is no good, you know, do I toss it now? Do I make a pile? I'll probably just keep it because I don't like to throw anything away until a project is done, because you never know what you need or a measurement or whatever. And once you throw it out, you're guaranteed to need that part for something. So I think that's it. So let me move on to my idea of the roll cage. Hopefully my camera problems and memory card problems are over and we're back to normal. And again, sorry for the chopped up video, but it's just me. I don't really edit anything. You see what I get done. You see what I don't get done. You see my mistakes. You know, it's not a big deal. I want to keep it real. I don't want to sit there and edit like, you know, like I'm on some TV show, because I'm not. I just want you to see, basically, you know, the challenges, the struggles, the successes of doing projects like this. And you can't be scared to do them, just do them. I encourage guys to get out there, chop stuff up, you know, put stuff together. And you got to remember, it's never broke. It's only broke if you can't fix it anymore. So I guess I'll leave you with those words, and hopefully I'll have a little bit more on this video, so this way it's not a shorty, and we'll go from there. So let me get on to some DOM tubing. Thank you. Oh, one thing I wanted to touch on that I didn't touch on today is basically security, how to lock a car like this up. So basically in a regular car you have a set of keys. You stick them in the keyhole, turn it, boom, locked, or you hit the fob, whatever. We could fob this car too, but I don't see a point in it. We don't need all that fancy crap on this thing. So basically, how do you lock up a coffin? So the way a coffin is designed, and I left this piece in there just for this purpose, is that you need a coffin key. So I didn't know that there was one in the coffin because I didn't see it when I opened it up before I started tearing it apart. And it was underneath this pillow here. And so I had ordered an additional one. So like any other car, now I got two keys. That is a coffin key. It's got the little handle. It goes, it basically goes into a receiver in the back top left corner. And once it's in there, there's a little cap there. You got to take the cap off, and then you put this in. Crank it clockwise to lock it, counterclockwise, can't talk, counterclockwise to open it. And what that does is a rod from here to back here, where the mechanism is, and it's just basically a rod with a screw back here, and as you're cranking it closed and the lids are down, this rod starts to move backwards with a hook, and it hooks, hopefully you can see this, it hooks into these rollers, and as it's hooking, it's designed to hook and pull down. So these two will be locked down, and there's two on here and there's two on here. And when I had the front piece here, it was probably a little stronger to be impossible to open. Also, it made it waterproof, because the coffin has to be somewhat waterproof. So basically, you know, we close this. I can't close it all the way because I got my tubing there. But basically, we close this. We stick this back here, and we crank it clockwise, and she's closed. And that's how you get security on your coffin. All right, guys, I just wanted to share that stupid tip with you. Thank you. Okay, so we're going to cut our DOM tubing. I have this set up so this way this support actually becomes my stop. I got double clamps here to hold the piece from moving, and I could get even crazier if I want and, you know, lock it down with this. Well, you know, let's just go ahead and give that a shot. And that'll just give us a little extra support there. And these all have little rounded pieces, like V pieces, so this way it'll accept a round. So when I measure from here to my blade, I have 39 inches. I'm ready to cut. So let's get some glasses, which is something I fail to do a little too often. I got to figure out where I put my glasses. I think I have them back here. Okay, so I got my glasses, and we'll go over this one more time. I got all my clamps. This is more than support than you need. This is an evolution saw, which is great. Well worth the money if you want to spend it. So let's go ahead and cut this one at 39 inches. We'll test it. If it fits, we'll cut the other 4. And I already have my stop, so this way I don't have to really remeasure. However, every time I put a piece in here, I touch it to the stop, I lock it down, I'm definitely going to check it. Because like this DOM tubing is expensive, and I really don't want to buy it twice. Here we go. Let's just go ahead and do it. Let's do a little check here, and we got 39 on the nose. So let's go ahead and release here. And this is our first piece. We're going to go test it. I'll be right back on camera in a moment, and we'll cut the rest. Okay, let's cut another one. And then I'll finish the other ones off camera. I'm not going to bore you with this. But just to show you how we're going to get a repetitive cut. And it's always great to have quality equipment. Check the ends. Because sometimes when these are cut at the factory, they have that little hole there. So we'd like to get rid of that. We'll leave it on this end. This end here is good. A little rough, but good. It'll work. And we're just going to pull back on all these. We're going to gently move forward till we touch. We're going to lock. While that's locked, we're going to take our tape measure and we're going to see if we're going to get another 39-inch cut. And guess what, guys? Right on the money. So again, we're going to lock this down. We have the stops and we have the equipment, so let's just go ahead and use this one also. Tighten it there. This will hold it down for us. And let's do another cut. Let's look at everything, make sure nothing moved. And I'm going to take a measurement, put the tape right there, look right here, 39 on the money, guys. So something I want to say about the safety glasses again, and that is that even though I was wearing them, a little piece of metal got past them. Luckily, nothing major. It just kind of felt funny, but it didn't go actually in my eye. Gotta wear eye protection. So I'm not going to bore you with the next two cuts. I'm going to go ahead and make those cuts off camera, and I'll come back if I'm doing another part of this. Alright, so our cuts are good. They fit tight in here, however, we're not going to be able to weld this out of the chassis, so we're going to have to do it all in here, attach our attachment points first, then start building from the bottom up. That's what we're going to need to do. So the only thing that's going to be bad is we're not going to be able to get full welds. But again, the way that it's going to be with the sides tucked in here, tucked in there, and then we're going to bird's mouth, basically notch the cross members, so we can make those a little bit tight, so we have to kind of tap them in and they'll stay there. And I believe as long as we got a good front weld and bottom weld and partial top weld, we're going to have to be okay with that. It's not what I wanted to do, but with all the contours on the inside of this box, there's really no other way I can go without losing interior room, which there is no interior room. So, I mean, I don't know how anybody is expected to be buried in a coffin like this. It's small. You do fit, 'cause I tried it. at the beginning of the build. I don't know if you saw the video, but you do fit. But so we're going to have to change our thought process a little bit here. But we got our 4 bars cut. They came out perfect with the stop and the way we set up the saw. I'll tell you what, that saw throws some chips. You're better off with a full face mask in front of that saw, because a couple of things hit me in the neck and gave me nice little burns. I'm used to it, so it's not that big of a deal, but it did burn. If you're not used to it, you're going to be shocked when you get hit with it. But again, Evolution is a great saw. After you're done cutting and you touch the metal is just room temperature. It's not super hot like most saws, so you're not burning yourself. I haven't dressed any of the pieces yet on the bandsaw. I'm sorry, not the bandsaw. The grinding wheel or the sander. We'll have to dress those. Right now I'm just rough cutting everything. So I need to see if I have some pipe clamps so I could pipe clamp to the top here, and I can start calculating my exact cross piece. So this way I can make one, test it. Once I know it works, we'll go ahead and make the other 3. And the bottom, again, I'm not sure what I'm doing there yet, but we're going to do something. We'll come up with it. Maybe over the where the hump of the tranny starts going flat to the floor. I think in that area there, I may be able to get away with it without interfering with you know, foot comfort and safety on the floorboard. So we'll go from there. When I'm cutting those pieces and notching them, I'll put that on camera. But as for right now, I need to just do a little bit of mock-up and a little bit of thinking and go from there. All right, thank you again. So I got my tubing notcher, and I mounted it on my drill. Basically, I attached the bracket to the bottom of the drill. Hook this up to the chuck, to where it belongs. I tested the throw on it and I did some adjustments. And let me just make sure I'm not standing in your way. And when we go to do our cutting, it more than passes the pipe, which means that we're in good shape. So it'll just pass the pipe, which is what I want. I don't want it to go all the way through, like more than the 1/4 inch that it does. We don't start wearing out the hole saw. But basically, we're going to do some tube notching. Not today. I just happened to get home a little bit early today, and I figured let me set this up and get it ready for Saturday. So Saturday we'll do some tube notching, some test fitting, and we'll start welding up the cage for the car. And that's about it for today. So just an inexpensive tube notcher that I got on Amazon for like $100. Which will more than do the job. I actually purchased another one, and after we moved everything, I can't find it. So I just had to buy another one, just to keep things rolling. And once we find the other one, it'll come in handy. I could always set it up on. I got so many of these drill presses, I could set another one up in the machine shop. And then I could probably reclaim this one as just a drill press. And that's about it. So that was today's adventure. I should have filmed me putting it together, but it was so simple. It was just a bolt down here to hold the floor plate, the bottom plate, and then just one bolt here to hold this steady and make it part of the drill press. And that was about it, really, in adjusting this block here. It came to me with this arbor upside down, so I switched that. I adjusted this here to the throw that I was looking for, and it's right there, so we'll be able to basically notch our pipes, or tubes, not pipes, tubes. Alright, so that's about it for this part. We'll try to find something else here and show you. Okay, so I put my notcher together here. We're going to do our first cut. Is it going to work? I have no idea, but let's try. So basically, I'm going to go in because I want to get, this is 1 5/8 pipe. So if you want to go over the other piece of 1 5/8, you need to go at least halfway. So half of 1 5/8 is 13/16. I measured back 13/16, and the back of my saw is right on the 13/16, which means I'm taking a half a cut. So I guess as of right now, we look good. Everything is tight. but it's an inexpensive drill press. I have a better one, but unfortunately it's buried in my shop, my truck shop, so I wasn't able to really get it here, but that's one that I've used for years. So let's give this a try and see what happens. It may be disastrous. Well, that was the very first cut. The way I have it set up, it worked out well. Let's see how it fits. Let me grab another piece of pipe. Here's one that I actually tried doing the 45 method on a miter saw. Don't try it. Worst idea ever. So I didn't clean this up or anything, but look at that fit. Wow. That looks awesome. So what we're going to do is, obviously we've got to run and bevel this with a grinder. We got to get these skinny edges out. Got to round them over a little bit. And again, as I said, we have to relieve the outer edge, deburr it. Look at that. I mean, hopefully you can see that in the camera. I'm not too blurry, but that is impressive. And this is a very inexpensive, less than $100 from Amazon. The hole saw is a Lennox, which is a quality hole saw. It's the rough tooth. I much have preferred the finer tooth. It would get rid of a little bit of that chatter that you heard, but yet it's 100% doable. And I'm going to say that this setup on the Ryobi is a win. It works. So I guess let's continue on and let's start measuring and let's start putting that cage together. Alright, so this is going to be a little challenging without an extra hand. But just to give you a general idea of what we're doing, let's go ahead and open this up. That works great, doesn't it? I'm happy with that. So we do have some stuff in here that I was cleaning up, I threw in here. But so the game plan is going to be that the bottom one, hopefully you can see this, yeah you can. So the bottom one is going to sit in here, and on the other side it's going to be equivalent, and then I got to take my measurement from this to the one over there, and let's just use an example. Let's say my measurement is 23 inches. So I would actually make it 24 5/8, and then when I cut them on the notcher, I would take 13/16 off each end, and that should perfectly fit onto the bars. And I'll make it a little on the heavy side of that final measurement, just so this way it gives me a little squeeze, puts pressure on there, it'll actually hold the bar up for me. So this I'm going to need some assistance with to get a good measurement. And unfortunately, I don't have that right now. Hopefully in the next few hours, one of my sons will be here and he'll give me a hand measuring. But that's the general idea. So, as I said, I just got to be careful. I haven't deburred any of this. I don't want to get cut right now. So one's going to go there. And it's going to be basically a box. The other one's going to go a little higher, right about there. And again, we're going to do a box. And that should give us enough strength, you know, God forbid we get hit or, you know, something doesn't go the way it should. You know, we'll at least have a greater chance of being safe. This stuff is all fun and games, but it has to be safe because You are going to be out on public roads with this, and it's a must that it be safe. I can't stress that enough. And in case you were wondering, yes, I had my glasses on when I was cutting that, when I was notching that tube. So something I've been religiously trying to stay with, even though at times you've seen me without them, which is not the right example. So anyway, that's the idea for the cage. And as I said, I do need some help with that today, so we're getting there. And then I got to make a final decision on the seat. Do I want to sit the seat all the way to the floor? I don't think that's going to work because I'm not super tall. I'm 5'10" and a half. But when I first did it, it didn't feel comfortable. But I'm just wondering if it's going to look too high when you're driving down the road, if I have the platform under the seat. Or do I need a smaller platform that I'm using? I don't know yet. But I think I'm going to do an actual test sit today. And, we'll get that on camera, see what you think. All right, let's move on to something else. So I'm signing off for the moment. Okay, well, I'm waiting on my next part of the project on the Coffin car, which is the safety bars. I just figured I'd show you, I have an MR1 from Langmeyer Systems. I have never used it yet, and honestly, I don't know how to use it. It's going to be a learning curve. So I'm going to start setting this up probably within the next week or so. And maybe even today I'll start pulling the computer out and start setting up the lubrication system and all that. And then we'll try to cut some parts. Like I said, I've never used CNC, very little CNC experience. I've used some basic CNC stuff, but nothing like this. So I purchased this a while ago. I've had it for a few years. I just never really did anything with it because, again, I didn't have the time. But we're going to go ahead and we're going to try to make some parts with it, and hopefully it's going to be a good experience, not a bad one. From most of the MRI people in a group that I follow on Facebook, they seem to like it. Eventually, as they get really good or really busy, they do move on to a bigger, more dedicated piece of equipment. No, I shouldn't say dedicated, but just maybe above entry level. This is kind of entry level in my opinion. I could be wrong, but a lot of guys are making some pretty incredible parts with it. So we're going to try to do the same. But again, it's going to be a huge learning curve for me because I don't have a lot of time to spend on it. So we're going to do our best and see what's what. And I have a few other CNC machines that I want to start setting up that we can probably make some parts with and go from there. The machine shop is semi-set up, and eventually we're going to go into there too. I almost have it all cleared out from last winter and the winter before, and I just have a lot of stuff, and when winter hits, it's just like pile it all inside somewhere, and hope for the best, and then hope for early good weather so you can kind of clear it out, only to clog it up again come winter. Only part about living in the Northeast is I really don't like the winters anymore. I don't have a big enough space to keep everything in one big gigantic building because land is at a premium here. And I appreciate what I have, but I wish I had a little bit more just so I wouldn't have to work so hard to start getting ready for winter, before winter even really gets here. So the MR1 is going to be one of our objectives to get going. And I'm probably going to need one of my sons to kind of help me with that because he's very computer literate. I am too, to a point, but there's a few things that kind of definitely surpass me and I don't understand. But I think this is going to be a big plus. So, okay, let's figure out what I'm going to do until we do the bars. Okay, so I set up the saw again. We're working inside today because it's quite hot outside, so I didn't want to deal with sweating all over the metal pipes. So my back's going to be turned to you a little bit. I got to get my safety goggles. I got everything all over the place, so it takes me a minute to get them. So I took a measurement. And one measurement was 23, and so 24 5/8 is what we have here, which I did verify I did verify it. And we're basically all set up, we're all tightened up, and we're going to make a cut. And this thing throws a lot of metal. Alright, so let's take this one out of the way. Move that out of the way. Just make sure that nothing changed. And we have our, 24 5/8. We're good. We'll back this one off. And what we can do now is take our measurements. Let me shut the camera off a minute and reposition. Alright, so we're going to make our first actual cut. On the other end, which I'll show you later, I have a thing called a dog leg, and it keeps me orientated. So after I'm done cutting here, all I have to do is switch it around, and it's got a level on it that tells me that I'm level, so both ends will be equivalent. So let's go ahead and get this cut. Let's get some lights on here. Well, lights aren't that great, but better than nothing. Okay, there's our first cut. So let me show you the dog leg now. And even with the dog leg, so my battery died, but you didn't miss anything. It was just a cut is all you missed. But you already saw that when I did it before. So let me see if I can get in screen here. And this is the dog leg. It just attaches to the end of the pipe, and it just tells me if I'm level or not. So now I'm going to go in this way. I made kind of like a little house here, because this thing throws a lot of chips. And what I'm going to do is, where's my mark? Okay, my mark is there. I'm going to see. I'm going to get close to where I need to be, and then I will level it. Use my phone for a light for a second. And yeah, I'm happy with where that is. Now we have to level it. So we have to loosen it a little. And I got a nice level bubble there. And let's see, my mark is here someplace. Well, it's easy enough to check. I don't want to take the dog leg off yet. Let's see if where I'm at. Yeah, I'm good. I'm a little shy of the 13/16 on both sides, and I do that on purpose. So this way, if I have to, I can always fine it. So I could always finalize it by just using a flap wheel just to clean it up. And if I have to take a little off, I can safely do so. So this way, it's a nice tight fit. And I always encourage people, take your time when you're doing something. You know, if you're in a rush, it means that you don't have time to do what you're doing. And here's a better look at the dog leg. You know, it's a nice, neat little tool. It's cheap. Very, very cheap. Okay, so we're going to make another cut now. And then we'll go fit this up. Hopefully it's a little tight. Alright, so we got our second cut in there. Now we'll see if I did okay. Let's see. And it needs a little deburring, but we could do a test fit. What did I do with my tape measure? Oh, it's one of those days. Here it is. So let me see if I got at least close to 23 inches here. Oh, I do. Actually, it's pretty exact. So by backing off instead of 13/16, doing 3/4 on each side actually helped. All right, let's go to the car and fit it. All right, let's see if before I clean it all up and make it pretty, let's just do a quick test fit. And this might be a little hard because of where it goes and how it's held in and all that. So let me see if I could do this. I may not be able to, one person. Yeah, as I thought, this is going to be a little hard for me to do by myself. I'm going to try. Well, even though it was hard for an instant there, I was able to get it. So I'm going to have to require a little bit of help fitting it, and then we'll go ahead and we'll film it. So let me go ahead and, for now, shut the camera off and see if my son could give me a hand. And it fit like a glove. It had just enough tension to actually hold the side pipes up. And we will be able to get a decent weld on there. And now we got to do the front ones, and I have the some assistance with these I don't know what you would call these little jacks here. So this way I can cut the next piece, same as that one, and I think we're going to be in good shape. So I'm not going to bore you with cutting another one. I'll take care of that, and I'll go ahead, and I think this time I can film it because I could do it by myself. My son helped me with that one, so it was too hard to have the camera and both of us hanging over this little space. All right, so stay tuned. Okay, so as you can see, I did the other piece off camera, and it's fitted. So it's just before the hump of the tranny tunnel. We got room underneath, so it's not like squeezed on top of there. And all I got to do right now is really just tack it, but I'm not going to tack it yet. It's being held in by itself by the tension on the two cross members. So the next thing is to do the top part, which I believe I already cut the pieces for last week. I just got to see where I put them, and I already measured my cross, so I know how much I got to cut and all that. So let's move on to that, and I'm not going to show you any of the cutting and any more of the notching. I mean, it's boring. It's the same thing. So through the magic of camera and editing, it'll be like we did it 2 seconds later. All right, keep watching. Okay, another nice tight fit. So we'll have nice clean welds. We're all the way up against there, we're all the way up against there, up against the firewall. The bottom one is just a little forward of the tranny hump, and this one is all the way to the back. So basically we created a cage, and you know, it's not going to move because it's in the little alcoves here, so it won't really move or go anywhere, and it's right up against the walls. So there's not much more that you really need to do at this point. You don't need to join them together because there's nowhere to join them. But basically, I think we're in good shape. So one thing I'd like to say is, number one, you got to be careful because the equipment throws a lot of chips. So make sure you got your glasses. Preferably a full face mask would be better. That would really keep everything out of your neck and everything else. It kind of starts to burn you up. If you got to do a lot of it, you got to really wrap your neck and everything. So this way you don't have little burn spots all over you. And take your time. You got to take your time with the measurements. It's okay if you cut it a little too big and it doesn't really want to go, because then you can use the flap wheel to clean it up. Or if it's a little more than the flap wheel can handle, you just put it back in the jig, and you can line it up by just using the hole saw as your guide, and then you just move it up that tiny bit that you feel that you need, or that you know that you need. You should know because you should measure it. And then just go ahead and cut. As long as you cut the one side, that's really all you need to do. You don't got to worry about cutting the other side and, you know, putting the dog leg on there and leveling it and blah blah blah. So I'm gonna call the cage done. Well, not done, but fitted. And maybe tomorrow we'll do a little bit of welding. It's getting a little bit late, but I do have a road trip tomorrow. Hopefully it'll work out for tomorrow, and it'll be part of the video. Something a little exciting for another project. And we'll just continue moving forward on this. And like I said, I want to get the seat back in here, and I want to sit in here, but I do want to weld the cage first. And I'm just wondering about this bottom one here. The only thing I'm wondering a little bit about is the gas pedal. I kind of was thinking it was going to be a little deeper in, but maybe I'll leave that one free floating just in case we run into something. And then if anything, I'll have to basically, you know, cut this and just weld around the hump, which I kind of don't want to do. I think it's a lot stronger being straight across than it is to put a little piece in there. But we'll address that as we go. So maybe we'll leave this one piece kind of not welded in. And eventually we're going to be taking this coffin off, and we're going to be doing all the final welding, and then we start final assembly. I believe we have everything here, and then we're going to need to figure out how do we want to do an interior. It should be pretty basic, pretty simple. I've never stitched any interiors before. I mean, I've done some basic stuff, you know, like button tuck stuff that didn't really require stitching, but I don't know, it might be time to learn. It might be a little fun to do. And alright, well, I guess you heard my voice more than anything else on this video, or at least 50-50. So we're going to continue this video tomorrow. I'm not sure if it's going to weld tomorrow, but we're at least going to, we're going to show you what we're picking up tomorrow if it all works out. Alright, thank you for watching.